Hi, I'm Dr. Elliot Adam from ElliotOracle.com. I'm also the author of Fearless Tarot, How to Give a Positive Reading in Any Situation, which takes the fear out of tarot and instead redirects tarot to a place of personal empowerment. So if you like my approach to tarot, you're going to really love this book. It's time for this week's Oracle Reveal. So earlier today on Instagram, I placed up a photo of 3 different birds, and I asked you to use your intuition and ask yourself which bird is calling to you, because that bird has a message for you. And the birds were the hummingbird, the hawk, or the crow. So if you're just joining us right now, ask yourself which one's getting caught in your head, because that animal has a message for you. The first one is hummingbird spirit. So if you pick this, it says be here now. Hummingbird is all about joy, and be here now means that joy is in the present. You can choose to be joyful right now by stopping and acknowledging and being grateful for all the joy that you already have. A lot of mistakes a lot of us make is that we're waiting for one day to be happy, that if we just get this accomplishment or achieve this thing, finally we're going to get that happiness. But this hummingbird is reminding you that the best of times are now, so savor them. The first card for hummingbird is where it's best to place your focus this next week. We got the Four of Pentacles. And in this card, it shows the miser who's clutching the 4 coins. He's got them with his hands and his feet. It's like he doesn't want to let go because he's thinking that the coins are going to bring him security or stability. Sometimes when I couple that with that, hummingbird message, I would almost think that this is a time where you really want to get rid of your attachments to things that are grounding you or making you too mundane or too worried about finances, money, external obligations, and take a break from those things. Take a break from those attachments, or even take a break from trying to succeed so hard, trying to push so hard for something to happen. And instead, take the day off. Instead, enjoy what's in front of you right now. Four of Pentacles is asking you to take an emotional inventory of what you're carrying with you on your path right now. And if it doesn't serve a sense of joy or a higher good or even feel productive, it's just time to let that go. The second card is going to be advice from your inner wisdom if you picked the hummingbird. We have a second Four of Swords. When we see 2 fours in a reading, it can indicate that this is time to establish a new foundation, a fresh start. If you're looking to improve your life, these 4s could indicate it's time to start from the ground up, from the foundation. Or it might be time to revisit the basics and to instead really reacquaint yourself with what the basics taught you in the past. Might be down to getting down to the basics with your priorities right now or your value set. Four of Swords is also a card of rest, so that whole theme of, hey, stop being so productive and be present, rest. Four of Swords represents convalescence, rest, solitude, exile, retreat, a time to plan and think. And I think if you kind of get your mind straight right now, it's really going to bode well for you. And you could use this downtime to really reestablish the foundation of your approach. And then finally, we got the mythic archetype that's going to help you if you pick the hummingbird. And we see Bellerophon here. His card says humility. And what this could indicate is that, all of us could be a little more humble sometimes. We can all stop ourselves and get our ego out of things and instead just say, you know what, I don't know everything. You know what, I am still growing. You know what, the situation isn't perfect yet. And I need to accept that, and I'm still working on it. We're all works in progress. You don't need to have that finished product, especially with those 4s there. And you're just fine the way you are. Sure, things can improve. Of course, you can always make things better in some way, but Bellerophon might be coming in to tell you to accept yourself where you're at and to still find joy in the moment, even with the incomplete things. The second animal is the hawk, and it says, let spirit be your guide, and hawk is the messenger of the animal kingdom. So expect little signs or signals or symbols that might jump out at you on your path. And just open your eyes and be aware of what's going on around you in the world. Might be time to get out of your head and go for a walk and just see what kind of signs present themselves to you. First card is where it's best to place your focus this next week if you pick the hawk. And we got the 5 of Cups. This card shows a figure who's focusing on the 3 spilled cups. He's focusing on the spilled wine. And he's kind of feeling like, well, that was a failure. That didn't work. I'm really depressed about it. And what he's failing to see is that even though there is some loss on this card, all is not lost. There's still those 2 cups that are standing behind him. The Five of Cups could just be telling you that you want to place your focus on what's working right now. Focus on solutions. Focus on where the energy is flowing. Focus on the things that are going well or that are exciting in your life at this time. That's going to pull you out of that negative trance of just, marinating in something that's been negative or something that's just been kind of depressing you. Five of Cups can also indicate, feel the sad feeling, but then move on from it. Maybe set a timer where you're like, okay, I'm going to allow myself to feel sad about this for like 10 minutes today. I'm going to set the iPhone timer, and then when that goes off, I'm going to redirect my attention to something productive. And this might even be the 5-minute rule, where you promise yourself just 5 minutes to start something productive, and you can quit whenever you want, and you make an agreement with yourself, and that may help you get out of the trance and get started with something that actually can benefit you, instead of just a big time sink that's wasting all your day away on worry or wallowing or looking at the spilled milk and everything else that came with it. So redirect your focus toward what is working. Where is the energy flowing? Second card is advice from your inner wisdom. And we get for the Hawk the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups is all about relationships. It could indicate that this is a time for healing in relationships. Maybe it's a time to clear up a misunderstanding or to clarify something with another person that you care about. Two of Cups will often indicate a partnership that's meant to be. It will indicate that there is a relationship that's really pivotal right now between you and another person, and it needs tending to. And no matter what happened in the past, it's time to redirect the energy toward, compromise, reconciliation, or at least making peace in your own heart about it. And then finally, the mythic archetype that's going to help you, if you pick the Hawk, is Persephone. She's the queen of the underworld, and she shows you the beauty of the underworld. She also beckons you toward what your darker feelings are so you can understand them. Persephone is the goddess of the underworld, but she's also the goddess of spring. And by taking that trip into the metaphorical underworld, spending some time with those feelings, understanding them, and then bringing some harmony to that part of your life, you can ensure yourself a rebirth when Persephone appears. Don't be afraid of what's making you feel low. Maybe you look at it right now, but then do set a timer. Do not allow yourself to kind of get pulled into the underworld in perpetuity. And then finally, we got the Crow spirit, and says, co-create with spirit. And the crow is all about, as well, embracing the shadow, the light and the dark. The crow is also a very magical bird, so this could be a time where you're really feeling like manifesting something. First card for crow is where it's best to place your focus, and there's the magical magician. It's best to place your focus on your goals and on getting control over the current situation by changing your mindset. The magician is the personification for the power of your thoughts, which are magic spells. They're going out into your reality, and they're creating the reality you're experiencing. And so the beauty of the magician card is he can change his reality by changing his mind, changing how he's thinking about it. And this also includes changing how you're feeling about something. Feelings are fed by thoughts. And if you can control what you're focusing that thought on, you can also alter what kind of feeling you're feeding. And you can, feed something more empowering, for example. Second card is advice from your inner wisdom. And another major arcana card we get is the Justice card. Justice is saying, if you're seeking balance, seek the truth. Go into what is honestly true in your life right now. This might also be a time for clarity. Both of these archetypes are a little airy. They tend to detach. They tend to look at things from a distance. And so Justice is just saying, if you're seeking balance, see the truth of the matter and maybe extract your emotions from this. This is more of an airy, logical, sensible, or even cerebral exercise this next week. Just take a step back. And then finally, the mythic archetype that will help you, if you pick Crow, is Hecate, who has so much in common with the Crow. She's all about the crossroads, the underworld, death, and transition. She's also been making an appearance quite often on the Oracle Reveal the last few weeks. Hecate is saying you're at a crossroads. There's a choice to make. And what you want to do is make the choice that is in alignment with your truth. And if you do that, you will not regret it. You will feel like you're living authentically. If, however, you choose the path that stuffs your inner self down and is like, shut up, you're going to do this anyway, it's going to make you miserable. So Hecate is saying, pick the path that is in alignment with your authentic self, and everything will occur as if by magic. And that is this week's Oracle. I do hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, you can always catch me at elliotoracle.com. Otherwise, I hope you all have a safe and happy week. And thank you so much for watching.